Hi, in this video we will check how Splynx solves the communication and how to stay in touch with customers. There are four types of different communication options that are covered by Splynx. The first one is email SMTP, that is used for mass sending, reminders and notifications. Then there is the ability to use SMS sending. And then the third option is to connect email of Splynx to marketing platforms. And the last one is IMAP connection that allows you to track all your employees' communication with customers. We will start with the first one, which is email SMTP. It's a simple and easy to use tool where you can connect any SMTP server and where you can use your own domain for email sending. So we will start the basic configuration and I'll show what can be sent in a mass way in Splynx, also how to enable auto notifications and reminders, and then we'll check how to connect this SMTP server to some professional sending service as a Spark Post or similar. Now, if we open Splynx and we go to configuration, the first thing that we find here, if we type email, it's under main, there are email settings. So this email settings is an SMTP email where we define the sender name, the sender's email, and we can use, for example, some Gmail account for testing, but the Google accounts, they are limited by hundreds messages per day. So that's why we recommend to use a professional SMTP server or the local SMTP server for this need. But here we can use our own domain. So you see that this is my example where I use Splynx.com and I can run the test. So if I have my email, I set up this one to my test email, and if everything works, when I run my test, it shows me this output with OK messages saying that everything is go and everything working fine and everything is accepted. For my testing purposes, I use this option send to, which makes all the messages that I will be sending to customers' mailboxes will be delivered to my personal email. If I select one customer and I can send them one message, for example, to this customer. So this customer, we can send the invitation message. So the first one, I will create message or I will send a welcome message. So if I send welcome message, it allows me to choose SMS with already pre-selected template, or I can choose email in this case. And here you can see that there is a welcome message. And I can just type the subject here, welcome to Splynx, or in this case, ISP network. And I send this message, so I can make a preview. Generally, in all email sending, SMTP sending, we have the preview option. And so when I click the button, it sends message to, not to this email, mike@test.com, but to the email that I defined in the settings as a primary email where everything is sent during the tests. So if I go to my mailbox, then we see that there is a welcome to ISP network. And as you can see that there are some invitation message with a link to portal, login and password. So this is my first basic setup. When I configured my SMTP server, you can see that it's using alex@splynx.com, my domain, and it's a TLS encryption. Everything, the email is always delivered. But as I said, the only disadvantage in this approach is that my Gmail account doesn't allow me to send over 100 email messages per day. So what are the options, how we can send emails from Splynx? So the first thing I shown you through action, we can create a message and just send one message or send the welcome message. The create message looks exactly the same, where I can select the template and send this email to customer. What is used a lot is when I need to send an invoice. So if I go to my list of invoices, I want to send one invoice to customer, to this one. I click the button send, and again, the same window appears where I can select my template for invoice. As you can see, there are many different templates here in Splynx. One of them I can set up or I can choose is invoice notification. So when I choose an invoice and load the template, it already prepares for me text with the subject invoice from my company, customer name, invoice number, and amount of the invoice, and it attaches the invoice to email message. I can preview. So this is the message that will be used, and now I can click button send, and it's going to send it to this customer. Another option, I can select many different invoices. So I can just select this 5 invoices and send them the same way. So I can just click button send, again select the template, invoice notification, load it, and send it to all my customers. Selected. So now I have sent 5 invoices. And the same thing can be used, the same approach we can use for payments. So if I receive the payment for this Mike Warren, I just received the payment of 85 euro, and then inside payments, I have here the payment. So the same thing, action, I can send the message, or I can just click the button here because it's only one invoice or one payment in this case. I select it this way. As you can see, there are also, if customer has more than one email, I have option to change this email address where the messages will be sent. Okay, so in this case, I use payment notification, load it, and you see that there is a difference. So it sends me that there's a payment received for this amount, and I send it again to customer. So if I go now to my mailbox where I'm receiving all the messages, you can see that I have received 7 emails, and then see that there are different customers because I selected 5 invoices and I send them out. So there is an invoice for AC Systems, 18 euro. Then I go to the next one. It's Mike Warren, 85 euro. Then it's another company with 48 euro. So this is because I'm receiving all the emails, but normally it should be sent to mailboxes of customers. And the same way we'll also receive the payment. So it says payment was received for 85 euro, and I have a payment received that was attached to the email. So this is the way how we can send messages, selecting invoices, selecting payments. I can send any message using message and mass sending here. So I can create the new message where I define the group of customers that will be affected. For example, I would like only to send emails to one partner, or to only one location, or to with the status blocked. So that's, I can create my subject, the test email message, and then I select my template if I have some template. If I do not have, I can just type whatever I want, but let's just select some kind of blocking wave notification, and then it will send to all customers this message, but only to customers that are under selected category. It means under this partner and under status blocked. And we can preview again this message, clicking button preview. So this is the message, and if I click button send, so this is something what is not needed because we are not attaching any financial document, any invoice. We are just sending the message. So if I click button send, it shows me first that 2 customers are affected, and now I click button, it goes and it sends emails through SMTP to customers. I can see in my history everything what was happening. So you see all the invoices that we were sending today, invoice and the payments, and then test email message. Now it's processing. All this is happening and it's stored in my history of my mass sending. Also, there is another log that I have available under administration. And then here, if I type email, that shows me logs email where it's very similar, and it shows me each single recipient with text of the message, and if it was sent, or if it's sending, or if it failed. So if I go back to my presentation, we said that it's simple and easy to use and configure, and you can use your own domain. The next step will be SMTP servers connect to Spark Post, this is the website that we use, and this is the account that we use. I will show in a separate video how to configure that. Let's take a look first on the automation. By default, all automation is disabled, but I can go to my configuration and notification settings, because this is first that is affected. Then you can see that there is a finance notifications. So these are the notifications that Splynx uses to send notification when invoice is created or payment is received. And here we see the settings. Invoices, auto send notifications when the invoice is created globally is enabled, and I can tune it. I can disable, for example, if I use perform invoices, I don't want to send them automatically. I want to send payments automatically. So there is a subject, there is a team template pre-configured. All these settings I can change under my config finance notifications. And then we have separate settings for recurring, for blocking wave, for inactive wave when customer is blocked and when his service became inactive. Then we have for prepaid, which says, for example, in advance, like 5 days before blocking, we can send the second notification wave, and 10 days before blocking, we can send the first notification wave. And then, of course, we have a blocking wave when the customer is locked. And then if the credit card is expired or will be expired soon, there is another notification for that. And for bundles, we have also a set of notifications. So these are the first notifications that are enabled and configured inside Splynx. And the next one is reminders. So this is a bit different because reminders, they are used when we lock the customer or when customer is not paying us. And these are the reminders against under finance. So we have reminders there. And the reminders by default, they are also disabled, but you can enable them. And it says the first day reminder is sent, for example, in this case, after 1 day when the invoice was generated, which is not that good. So I think better is to set it up, for example, 10 days. If invoice is not paid and we need to send the reminder, we send it after 10 days. So this one is after 5 days after the first reminder, and this is after 5 days after the second reminder. Okay, so this is also displayed here above on the calendar. So it means 1st of months we generate invoice, 11th we receive the first reminder, 16th the second, and 21 the third reminder. So all these reminders are globally disabled. If I enable them, I just need to enable this. And then when I go to my customer, I can find the same reminders under settings of each single customer. So if I want to disable reminders for one particular client, I just disable them here. But here are the days of reminder that I just set up for these customers. And I can preview the reminder message. And I can also display this calendar here to see when the reminders will go out to customers. Please remember that reminders and notifications, they are configured in 2 different places. So I think that's all for now regarding the SMTP and email settings. We'll continue with the next video with a description of how to connect your SMTP service to Spark Post and how to achieve this efficient email sending using third-party service, which is made for mass sending. Thank you for your time for now.